What's up everybody, I'm going to quickly discuss the positives and the negatives and what I would go with personally about these two devices. Firstly, I'd like to start off with the negatives for both. One, as you can see on the screen, is you'd have to touch the phone screen in order to use the touchpad. Games such as Ghost of Tsushima, where you have to use the touchpad for swiping, would be kind of annoying. And number two, you can only use your phone without a case on both of these devices. Three, both of these have shorter joysticks, which can be problematic for some. Now I want to quickly discuss the backbone and the positives. The positive of the backbone, you have a 3.5 auxiliary port for those that need wired headphones or prefer wired headphones. The button materials feel more premium on the backbone as far as the square, triangle, circle, and X button and the D-pad. Button icons match the PlayStation's layout versus the Kishi version 2, which has an XYBA scheme. The backbone application provides more features than the Razer Nexus application does, a lot more features. Granted, a lot of these features in the application will require a subscription, although you get a whole year for free right off the bat when you purchase a backbone. However, you'll be able to determine that the quality of the screen recording that you do, if you do any screen recording. You have messaging, you can add friends, you have a chatting feature within the application and with other people in the backbone community. Now for the backbone negatives. This one was a big bummer for me because I find extra buttons to be important. The backbone does not have extra buttons like the Razer Kishi does, which is a major bonus point for me. I prefer to have the extra buttons similar to the Scuff for more competitive gaming, and the backbone does not have any additional buttons. Another minor negative, which might not matter after you keep it on, is the rubber boot that you have to stick on there if you have a 13 Pro Max iPhone. Now for the positives for the Kishi, there are the two additional programmable buttons that you can map to whatever you'd like. Another positive for the Kishi is that the triggers have more travel time from what I'm experiencing after playing. For me, this is important because I play MotoGP games or any kind of racing game where feathering the brakes or the gas are pretty crucial in doing well in races. Another positive, which might be minor, is that you don't need any additional rubber boots to use your 13 Pro Max. You can just slap it right in and it works fine. Negatives for the Kishi, there is no auxiliary port for those who like the wired headphones, as was mentioned, but if you use Bluetooth headphones, it's not really an issue. Another negative is that some people might find the clicky buttons on the bumpers and the buttons on the Kishi to be a more noticeable clicking noise, which might be annoying to some, where the backbone doesn't really have a clicking noise when you're hitting the bumper buttons on the controller. As far as the Nexus application that you can get with the Kishi, there really isn't much to it. The backbone offers much more different things that you can do. You can't even launch the PlayStation Remote application directly from the Razer Nexus app, whereas from the backbone you can just launch it directly there. It could be a minor annoyance where you'd have to exit the application or just launch directly into the PlayStation Remote app. All the Nexus app has to offer is basically showing you a series of different games based on genres from the App Store, basically. Also, remapping buttons isn't as fluid. Although it has additional buttons on the Kishi, remapping them is not possible while you're in-game or via the controller. You'll have to swap out if you're going to switch games and you want to switch the mapping. You'll have to go back to the Nexus application and then remap it, and then go back to your remote application and reconnect. So that can be a slight annoyance. Whereas in the Scuff controllers, you can kind of just program the mapping on the controller, which I think would be great. Maybe in the future variants of these, they can incorporate some feature where they could program it into the controller rather than having to go through software to do it. Now, after discussing all that, I'd like to discuss the deal-breaking factors for some people. Basically, if you need an auxiliary port and you want to use your wired headphones and that's a deal breaker for you, you'll most likely have to go with the backbone. If you are somebody that is into competitive gaming and you want to get as many buttons on your controller as possible, then the Kishi will be for you. After testing both of these out, I basically decided to go with the Kishi because I'd like to have that competitive edge if I'm playing a game, Fortnite for example, and you need all the buttons you can get to benefit your gaming. I would have stuck with the Backbone if they had the additional buttons, because I do like the material used for the buttons themselves, and I like the application a lot in comparison to the Nexus. These both feel like very similar devices. It's very minor differences, and things that matter to you the most will determine which one you'll go with. So let me know what you would find to be the better choice for you in the comments below, as I'm curious to hear everybody's opinions on the matter. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. As I reach higher in subscriptions, I will definitely start doing giveaways. Something worth looking forward to. Till next time.